Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and happy new year. Welcome to 2020, a whole new decade. I hope it is going to be an amazing one for you. So for today's video, I am going to be talking through my 2019 and what I achieved, what I was really proud of, like the major things that happened for me over the year, and also talking through what I'm planning, what my goals are for 2020. I love doing these videos at the start of each year or the end of each year, depending when it goes up. It serves as a bit of a documentation of what I've achieved, what I'm planning, and also it's just amazing for me to look back on and see, did I do everything that I wanted to do for this year? What were my goals 2 years ago, 3 years ago, each time that I've done this video? So I hope you enjoyed this video and hopefully it gets you thinking about what you would like to achieve this year as well. I don't set myself a New Year's resolutions anymore. I haven't for a few years now. I like to just have goals that I work towards, and if they change, then they change, and there's usually a reason for that. But let's go ahead and get started with what happened in 2019. So the first thing that happened for Jonathan and I in 2019, all the way back in January, was that we moved out. We had been living with his family for 5 years at that point, and we were finally able to move out because I finally got myself a full-time proper job. So we found ourselves a place and we have been living here for pretty much a year now. We moved out on the 11th of January. The moving process was so much fun, doing all the packing and the cleaning up at the old place and unpacking at the new place, deciding where everything was going to go. It was all just amazing, and to finally have our own space. And we have so much space in this house as well. It's actually crazy how much space we have here. Like, this room that I film in is huge. It's like a lounge basically, but it's our second lounge, so we don't use it for anything else. So it is just my filming space. I've got my computer over in the corner as well. Jonathan basically has 2 rooms that are just for him. He has his computer and all his music stuff set up in one of them, and then he has all of his Lego in the other room. And then we also have a spare room which we use for like storage. So I don't want to say that we like never spend time together, but we do each have our own space and we're never like in each other's way. I did actually do a house tour a few days after we moved. There were still boxes everywhere. We were still in the middle of unpacking, and I said that I was going to do an updated one when we'd unpacked everything. I haven't done that yet. It's now been basically a year. There's still like things that I want to get right about the house, and I don't think it's ever going to be perfect. So at some point this year I will do an updated house tour for you so you can kind of see what it's like in a living state rather than with boxes everywhere. But yeah, that was our first really exciting thing that happened in 2019. And then the next thing for me in 2019, which is across the whole year, it was my first year of teaching, which is super exciting. I was so nervous going into it. I was really excited as well. Teaching has literally been my dream job pretty much my entire life. I was looking forward to it so much, and I've loved my first year. I'm so glad that I ended up at a really nice school with a lot of support, and it's just been amazing. I've been teaching year 3, which is 7 and 8 year olds, and I love the age group. I had an amazing class. I learned so much about teaching. I like completely overhauled the way that I teach several times throughout the year. And now heading into my second year of teaching, I'm a lot less nervous. I have so much more confidence in my ability to teach. I am looking forward to having a fresh start with new children though, because obviously there were things that I got wrong that yeah, it's just nice to have a new start and try again. But we will talk about my second year of teaching in a moment when we get to the 2020 plans. Teaching was such a big thing for me in 2019. It's so full on, especially your first year when you're still like learning on the job. Everything is brand new. So I actually didn't do a whole lot of other things. In terms of trips, I did actually manage to go on 2 trips in 2019, but they were both really short trips. But the first one, which was in September, was up north to Paihia. And I think I've driven through Paihia before when Jonathan and I did our road trip, but we've never actually stopped off there and had a proper look around. So our friend that we used to work with was gifted a week-long free stay in Paihia. So he invited us up to join him on this holiday for as long or as short as we liked. Jonathan had another commitment that he had to be at, so we couldn't stay for too long. So I think we did end up going for 2 nights. It was so nice just to get away for a little bit. We went down after school on the last day of the school term, so it was really like a really lovely way to get me into the holiday mode and just relax after 10 weeks of straight teaching. And also it was right at the start of spring, and there was just such lovely weather up there, and it was like the first time that it had properly been warm after winter, and I hate the cold, so it was just so nice. And we went to the beach and we got ice creams. We went on a little bit of a hike. It was like a short hour or 2 hike, so it was just a really nice time. And I didn't vlog, so there's going to be nothing for me to show you while I talk about it, but it was up on my Insta stories and I think I put it in the highlights, so if you do want to go and check it out, that's where it will be. The other trip that Jonathan and I went on this year was an even shorter one. My dad turned 80 this year, so he had the whole family. He lives in Gisborne, so we all flew in, drove in, whatever it was, however people got there. Jonathan and I flew down. It's a really quick flight. I think it was like even less than an hour. I think it's like half an hour on the plane, and my sister actually ended up being on the same flight as us on the way down, so that was really nice as well. She was sitting like behind me and one row over, so I could just like turn around and talk to her and she was right there. We literally stayed for one night, so we flew in the morning I think, and then Jonathan and I grabbed lunch, we went to our accommodation, just basically got our key and then went to my parents' place, caught up with everybody, went out for dinner with everyone, and then stayed one night, and then in the morning we went out for breakfast with my sister and then flew back to Auckland. So it was a really quick stay, but it was so nice to see everybody. And I remember talking about this in this video last year, that I was really excited to see my family that lives overseas. I have a brother in England, a brother in Australia, and also my sister. She's not overseas, but she's in the South Island, so I guess technically she's over a sea. But she's still within the country, you know. But those are the people that I don't get a chance to see very often, and it was really nice to just be able to catch up with them all in one place. We all got to see each other, so that was really lovely. And that's pretty much the highlights for me of 2019. Like I said, being a beginning teacher is really full on, so you can't really pack too much in while you're trying to do your first year of teaching, because you just won't be able to handle it. So I think that was enough for me for this year, but I'm very excited to tell you what is happening actually really soon for me. So moving on to the 2020 section of this video, the first thing that Jonathan and I are doing in 2020, which actually we've already been and started it by the time this video goes up, is we are going to Japan. Oh my gosh. And we're already there. When you're watching this video, we are in Japan. So we fly out on the 30th of January, which as I'm filming this is a week away. So I'm like counting down the days and counting down the hours, but obviously by the time you see this video, it'll already be in the past. I have been wanting to go to Japan for so long. My parents and I lived in Ukraine when I was really little, and we did a lot of traveling. So I've been to quite a lot of different countries, and our final place that we were meant to go to before we came back to New Zealand for good was going to be Japan. And my parents both got really sick that year, and it just worked out that we were not going to be able to travel anywhere for like a holiday because my mum was just too sick. So at the end of staying in Ukraine, we had to come straight back to New Zealand, so I didn't get to go to Japan, and since then I've just been like itching to go, just because I was so looking forward to it, and it was just one of those places that I haven't been and I really would love to go. And so it's been on my radar since I was 10, which is now 15 years ago. So it's been like the very, very top of my travel to list for 15 years. Jonathan has actually been there before, but it was back when he was in high school, and it was like a school group that went, so there were teachers involved, other students involved, and they were kind of like shuffled around everywhere that they had to go. So he loved it, but he's really looking forward to going back like on his own terms, being able to see what he wants to see on his own timing. So I think it's just going to be absolutely amazing. And there are other countries that we both want to travel to, but this has been the top of both of our lists the entire time we've been together. So we're both like had it in the back of our minds the whole time. And this year we've both been working, and it's just kind of been the first opportunity that we've had to save for a really big trip like this. We have been overseas together. We've been to Perth for 3 weeks, I think. No, not quite 3 weeks. But yeah, we did do a trip to Perth a few years ago, which was great. Australia's really close to New Zealand, so it was only quite a short flight, and then we stayed with his uncle. So it felt a bit more like a family get together rather than like an actual holiday. I'm so looking forward to going to a foreign country where we don't speak the language and just exploring with him for 3 weeks. So we are starting in Tokyo. We fly into Tokyo. We're going to be there for a week, and then we go to Kyoto. We're staying in Kyoto, but we're also going to, you know, do day trips out to Osaka because they're really close together. And I'm so excited about like Universal Studios and things like that. So staying in Kyoto for a week as well, and then we are going to Hiroshima for a few days, and then back to Tokyo for a couple of days before we fly back. So we're there for 3 weeks in total, and I just cannot wait. I will be vlogging while I'm there, so I will be able to show you what we got up to while we were over in Japan. I think I'm going to do 2 different vlogs, one on each channel. So I think on this channel I'll do like a really condensed short travel diary. It'll probably be like 5 minutes at the most. I think Jonathan is going to take the lead on that video because he always thinks I make my videos way too long.
What are we doing?
I was just saying that you're going to take the lead on the short video for my main channel for Japan. Are you excited about Japan? Not really?
No, yes.
I was telling them that by the time they see this video, we'll already be in Japan.
Wow.
I know.
You don't shoot your videos after
the second that I post them?
I was going to say, you don't shoot your videos after they come out? Like, what's the option, people? They're either going to be filmed live or they're going to be filmed in the past. People are always like, what? You film your videos in advance? Like,
I think they expect you to
happen.
film and then immediately edit and put it up the same day.
Like what I did 365 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Screw that.
But I film like a week in advance because it's... If I get sick, then you still have a video to watch. There we go, that's the reasoning. And also because I'm going to be in Japan, so like I can't be filming and...
He can stop anytime he wants though.
Yes. And then I'll do a longer vlog. I might even split it up into sections, like 1 part for each city that we go to, and that will be on my vlog channel. That'll be like the chatty ones where we kind of show you more of what's going on. So if you are interested in the longer version and you're not subscribed to my vlog channel, I will have that linked in the description box down below. It's always linked anyway, so just head on over and check that out. It'll be up in about 3 weeks when we come back. But if you just want to see a really short version of what we got up to, then this channel is going to be the one to watch. Anyway, moving on to other things that are happening in 2020 for me and also for Jonathan. So speaking of Jonathan, he quit his job at the end of 2019, which is a little bit scary, and it's like, oh my god, what have you done? But he's going to go back and study in 2020, finally making a move towards his career, which is going to be amazing for him. It's what he needed to do. He's been doing teacher aid work for the last 5 years now, and that's been great in terms of a job that he does 9 till 3 and then comes home and forgets about it and is able to work on his own little side projects for the rest of the time. But he's ready to start learning heaps more about the things that he's interested in. So he's already done so much with the talent that he has, but it will be great for him to study alongside people that are interested in the same things as him and, you know, get some connections with other people that think the same way that he does. And it's only a 1-year course, so he'll be studying for 1 year and then hopefully he'll be back in the workforce in 2021. It does mean that money's going to be like a little bit tight for us next year because it will just be my income and that is it. But I have actually had a couple of pay rises since I started teaching already, so we should be okay for money, and it's only for 1 year, so we will make it work, it will be fine. And speaking of teaching, going into my 2nd year of teaching, I'm so glad that I'm able to stay at the school that I was at last year. So last year they offered me a 1-year contract, which is pretty much how every beginning teacher starts, or even any teacher that, even if they have experience, if they're starting in a new school, they will usually give you a 1-year contract to check that you're okay for the job. So I was covering somebody's maternity leave for the year. So there was no guarantee at the end of last year that I would be able to stay at the school or if I would have to be looking for a new job. So I'm very happy that they did offer me another year-long contract. So I'm still all good for another year at the same school, which is amazing because I don't have to learn new people's names. I don't have to learn a new school culture. I'm also able to stay in the same classroom, which I thought I was going to have to change because they just said that I was going to have to change year levels that I was teaching, which I didn't really want to, but I was happier to do that than move schools. But it just so worked out that I'm able to stay teaching year 3. I'm staying in the same classroom. My classroom is actually being done up over the holidays, which is so exciting. They're going to paint it, they're going to give me a new deck, they're putting in glass doors onto the deck, they're recarpeting, which is great because I kind of stuffed the carpet. That's not the reason they are recarpeting. They were going to do it regardless, but I had like put tape around my mat area to just remind the kids where they were and were not allowed to sit during mat time. And I went to peel it off after about a term and it was completely stuck. It was not going anywhere. So I'm really glad they're going to recarpet and I'm not going to make the same mistake again next year. I will use chalk, which comes off very easily. Anyway, yeah, so I've loved teaching at this school this year. They're so relaxed about so many things and really supportive, and kind and helpful and friendly, and I'm just so happy that I get to stay there for at least another year. And it also means that I didn't have to say goodbye to my class from last year. I would have been so upset if, you know, the last day of school was goodbye forever, because at the end of a year of seeing them every single day, it was so hard to say goodbye just for the holidays anyway. So I'm really happy that I get to go back next year, and even though they won't be in my class anymore, I'll still see them before school, I'll see them when I'm out on duty, I'll see them every day. So yeah. And that is pretty much all my plans for 2020. I was going to say we don't have any trips planned. Obviously, we have Japan planned. We don't have any other trips planned for the year. We're pretty much putting all our savings into Japan because we just want it to be an amazing holiday, and also because we're only on one income for the year, we don't have the money to be going on other trips. So that is going to be our 2020. Please do let me know what has been going on for you guys in 2019, what you're looking forward to in 2020. I would love to know a little bit about what is going on for you guys. And aside from that, I hope your year is off to an amazing start. I know it's like the first day of January when this is going up, but I wish you an amazing year. I will see you in less than a week with my next video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!